I've been opportune to visit a number of hotels, and whenever I'm in these hotels, or most of the hotels I've been to, they tend to have a very beautiful landscape. There was this resort I went to last year where I spent my 1 week birthday vlog venture. You should watch the vlog if you haven't. But there's a particular resort there I went to, and the amount of matured palm trees, keyword is matured palm trees, that is in that resort, it makes you understand that there was a lot of planning that went into creating these trees, the flowers. At this point you can have just pink flowers. This particular part you can have a palm tree, fully developed palm tree, and we have tiles around, and it just makes me wonder. Personally, these are things that keep me up at night. Jokes apart, but yeah, this is something that stays heavily on my mind. Palm trees or trees in general, sometimes it take long time to mature, like long years, some 10, some 20 years for it to be mature to be called a palm tree, or for you to see the beauty. And all of this is part of the aesthetics. The hotel, the resort, whatever it is part of the aesthetics. So before, when they say you have to build something in your mind first before you can build it physically. So at some point, the architect or whoever is in charge of the landscape had already seen what that resort is going to look like before the palm trees even matured, before the buildings even got ready for them to match, so that when you get into the resort, you're like, oh, this is so beautiful. But then again, like I told you, some palm trees can take a decade before they mature. So are you telling me that they would build the hotel, and the first set of people who lodged in the hotel or the resort, they were just left with like a desert, some place that is not beautiful, just managing, and they are waiting till that 10 years, and then eventually the palm trees become mature, the flowers and all of that come together to give them that picture they are wanting, or that picture they have in mind. I always used to wonder the science or the magic behind that. Then I was reading a book titled Seeds of Greatness, and it puts this aspect into perspective for me. It gave me some insight into this perspective, how things works, and it just got me thinking into time, the perspective of time. So I was like, what, let me understand what this is all about. In the book, it is said that resorts actually start building years before it even becomes a resort, because, like I said, for a palm tree to grow, it takes 3 to 5 years for it to grow every year, 2 to 3 meters every year, 2 to 3 meters increments. But for a palm tree to fully develop, to be matured, it takes 10 to 20 years, depending on the palm tree. For even coconut trees, palm trees, most of them take 20 years. But for the palm trees, generally speaking, it takes 10 to 20 years. So imagine you're trying to build a resort, but these palm trees will come in 10 to 20 years fully, or at least 4 to 5 years before you can get a significant height to be able to add some beauty to it. So what happens is resorts or hotels usually start years before the building even commences, where the trees, they are planted, they are fertilized, they are taken care of, they are looked after, believing that so long life doesn't happen, so long is up to time, you just need to give it time for you to see what you're looking for or what you're hoping for. Except if, like I say, life happens. Life can happen in any way. But without life happening, it's guaranteed that in 10 years, you'll be able to have your matured palm tree that will fit into the picture or the idea that you have in your mind. So once they do that and it gets to a certain level before they start building the resort to catch up onto that. And it just got me thinking that imagine how we live our lives in respect to time. Let's say, for example, I know for a fact that it's going to take me 3 years to be able to get tangible results on YouTube. And in that 3 years, instead of me to focus on working, building, doing what is expected of me or what I need to do to propel me to that point, I'll be carried away or distracted by what people are saying, things people are doing, the criticisms and the rest. But without a doubt, removing life out of the picture, without a doubt that in 3 years, so long you put in the work and do the proper things, this will yield fruit. So I always tend to wonder why most times we tend to leave distractions, what people are saying, naysayers, haters, as we like to call them, to deviate us or to distract us from where we are heading to. Because if you think about it, when you are able to know your vision, what you want to do, where you need to go, and what you need to do, one of the most important things that you need is time. Being able to wait, stay in power. And that is why they always say, oh, you have to be patient. Patience is a very, very key factor in building anything. There's nothing you start building today and 2 years it has blossomed so much, depending on the kind of business you're into, the kind of career, and the kind of person as well. Also, their background also matters. But aside all these key factors, building anything tangible takes time. And it just gave me a different perspective, that, okay, let's say I'm an owner, or I plan to own a resort, or I intend to build a resort. So we're talking about 2025 right now. I'm trying to build a resort right now. I have the vision, the plan, and everything set in place. But once I start in 2025, it's possible that aside the people working on that site and people who are aware of that ongoing project, the world is not aware that someone is building a resort. Sometimes it can take 5-6 years before you have the grand opening of that resort, and it's like, oh, they are building something there, or there's a new resort there, there's a new hotel there, and you're wondering, oh, how, when, all of that question. But while that time is going, you don't pay attention to this person because there's nothing you can see. You don't even know that there's so much going on behind the scenes. It's just a matter of time that that in 5-6 years you have your establishment ready, so that it's not a part where the first set of people who come, they are left with just a dry landscape, nothing beautiful, it's just dry, and no added aesthetics. Imagine how that will affect the customers base. So planning, time is just a key factor in everything we do. So I was like, what, let's touch on the principle of time. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope everyone is doing fine. If you're new here, welcome. Please just go through my channel. There are lots and lots of content for you to indulge in, binge watch, get to know my content. And I have lots of videos like get to know me, fun facts about me, things I like, things I hate. In case you're wondering where did this person come from, but anyways, welcome here. Don't forget to like this video while you're at it, subscribe, share with your loved ones, and I hope that you will find something that keeps you here. But anyways, let's move into our topic for today, which is the perspective of time. Time in itself is finite. Time is constant. Time is constantly moving. There are no breaks, there are no stoppage, you cannot go back. It's like a continuous river that keeps flowing, and you cannot jump into the same river 2 times. You can't experience yesterday twice. It's not possible. Time is there to be able to keep us in check, to remind us that the past is behind us, the future is what we make of it, is yet to come, and life currently is now. Life is right now, currently. And it just got me thinking, how do we spend time? Because time is one of humans' greatest assets. How you spend your time is so important in everything you do. And as we all know, or in case you're not aware, our destiny is measured by time. It's just like a footballer. You're an aspiring footballer. You cannot wait until you're 24 before you're thinking of joining an academy, joining a club that could take you somewhere. Whereas the appropriate age for football is when you're much younger, or let's say an Olympian, for example. Most times, from what I gather, the best of the best Olympians that started from when they were children, when they were babies. Not of course, not babies, but when they were able to move their body, that's when they started. That is who they mostly refer to as professionals, or the ones of the ones. Those are the people that started. Why? The key factor is time. If you start early, anything you start early in life, you've already gotten an advantage of time. And this is not to discourage you, to make you feel like, okay, I'm already 30 something years old, life is already too far, and the rest, there's no time. What I want you guys to understand is, in as much as we say there's no time, It's one thing for me to sit here and be like, you know what, no one is watching my video, they are not subscribing, they are not liking, I'm so tired, I can't keep going, let me just let it be and focus on something else. Or I decide to, let me keep staying until I get that magic I'm looking for. If I decide to continue or I decide to stay, in 3 years' time, I'll still be there. 3 years will still come and pass, whether I decide to continue the YouTube or not. And that is something that I feel a lot of us do not really understand, or I feel like we understand, but we are not really paying attention, in the sense that you can hear someone, people love to put timelines, people love to put a particular age. I have to be married before I clock 35. I have to have a paying job before I clock 25. I have to do this before I'm 20. It is good to set goals. It is good to be able to set deadlines for your goals. But in as much as we do that, we should not restrict ourselves with, making, okay, let's say, for example, a lady stands up today and be like, I will be married. I want to get married before 30. Unintentionally, you see that you try your possible best, you box yourself into the space where it's a do or die affair, where you have to get married before you cross 30. It's not like the world is coming to an end, it's not like your life is coming to an end, it's not like you cannot get married at 50, but just because you put yourself on this timeline that at 30, I'm supposed to have gotten married, regardless of whoever comes as your husband, you are bound to accept that person, you are bound to accept that situation, you are bound to accept that job, whatever it is, because you are running out of time. And then you now find out that in this same example, let's say the lady eventually gets married before she clocks 30 and she's not fortunate enough, because most times it leads to desperation because we've put a particular timeline, and peradventure life has planned it in a way that you get married at 35, you say no, it's 30. It's possible that that person you're going to get married to at 30 is not the same as the person you're going to get married to at 35. But because of pressure, you end up making a wrong choice. And then 5 years down the line, you see that there's so much disagreement, so many problems, that 5 years, 3 years, 2 years down the line, you're divorced, and it's like you're back to square one again. And at this point, you're 35, you're 33, you're 32. So in as much as it is a do or die affair that you must get married at 30, you find yourself at 35 being a divorcee, maybe with children as well, just adding more problems to your life. And then you find yourself that you've gone 10 steps backward. Now you're trying to make your step forward again, and time has already gone. Time waits for no one, so that is why it is important for us to learn patience. Because I feel time and patience works hand in hand. Because imagine you're the kind of person that you want to build a result, but you lack patience, and they're telling you that to build a result, to give you that picture or to bring your vision to life, it needs 5 to 6 years. Are you patient enough to wait? Most times the answer in this scenario would be yes. Why? Because you can tell that at that point, so long you're able to give it 4 to 5 years, your dream will come to life. That picture would be able to come to life, So in that aspect, most people will tell you that yes, they can wait because they know this and this and this. And without understanding that that is exactly how life works. Let's say you start something today. Personally, I feel once you decide to embark on starting anything, I feel you should give yourself from at least 3 years above before you can make a decision if you want to move forward or if you don't want to move forward. I feel like doing something for a year and deciding, okay, this is not for me or this is not for me, depending on the context. But most times in life, yes, you're going to wait for 5 to 6 years because there is guarantee that, not guarantee per se, but for a fact that something tangible will come out of it. If you're able to wait for 5 to 6 years, you'll wait for it. Now using the example as results. So let's go into our lives, our career paths, whatever it is we want, whether it's marriage, being a stay-at-home wife, being a stay-at-home husband, being a working husband, being a working wife, regardless what the situation may be, being a career man, a career woman, regardless, it is very important for us to understand that destiny is a measure of time, or time is a unit of destiny. We use time to measure destiny. You cannot, as someone who is aspiring to be an Olympian, for example, like the example I just gave, an Olympian, a footballer, it is better to start early. It's not like if you start late, it means you're not the best or there's something wrong with you. It is just better because that time also matters in the experience. When you hear experience in job requirements, it is also time. That time you need to invest. It is very important to understand that whatever it is you're going through right now, if you decide to start today, if you decide not to start, that time is going to pass regardless. If I decide to be someone who doesn't want to do anything, I'm just here sulking in my past, my pain, life is not fair to me, life should have treated me better, I came from this background, I'm this kind of person, I'm a stammerer, no, I don't look too good, no, I don't know how to talk in public, I don't know how to carry myself, all those things, regardless if you decide to do it or not, the time is going to pass. If you decide not to further your career, if you decide not to further your education, saying, I'm already too old, in 5 years time I'm going to be 45, in 5 years time I'm going to be 37, so I don't see myself doing it. Guys, whether you do that thing or not, you are going to be 35. That 5 years is going to pass and you are going to be that person. So it is really important for we the young ones, we the younger generation, to be able to come to a part where we understand the role of time in our life, we understand the role of time in our destinies, and that will also help us to make better choices, to live better life, to live intentionally, which is the key goal. Being able to live intentional, being able to do things that serve you, being able to do things that propel you to that person you want to be or that place you want to be. Time is just so important, guys. If you need to start something, start it today. Don't wait for tomorrow. Just start it right now. You're thinking, if I start now, a lot of people have started. Maybe perhaps if I've started YouTube 10 years ago, my life wouldn't have been here or I've gone far, In that moment where you're sulking, you're thinking, you're deliberating and all of that, time is running. So whether you feel you're way behind your peers, you're way behind your co-workers, you're way behind your friends, whether you decide to start that thing or not, the time is going to move. If you decide that you want to get married at 30 and from everything that is happening is not able to get married at 30, please do not kill yourself by making sure that you need to get married at 30. It is good to have deadlines for goals. It is good to set goals with deadlines, but don't box yourself and make yourself too restrictive in a place where it's like, and we're always scared of getting old. Personally, I'm someone that, as a lady, I can't wait to reach when I'm 40 and 50. These 2 years are years that I truly cannot wait till when I'm 40 or when I'm 50. And this is not me saying, I'm rushing, I want to get there. No, in as much as I'm enjoying my time, taking my time, waiting for that time, that is a period I would really love to see. I don't know why we as humans are afraid of aging. And aging is just a natural phase in the human life, So, in as much as we are so age conscious, personally speaking, that's what I would say. We are so age conscious as a society. So most times we always like to give ourselves deadline. If let's say for example at 25, I'm not able to achieve certain things I want to achieve, and that person at age 23 is able to achieve it, we feel like life has come to an end, without understanding that if I want to build a resort and you want to build a hotel, a normal hotel that maybe is in a residential area, I want to build a resort in like all these areas where you can get so much land, because resorts take a lot of land. They are so big, so massive. The amount of years it will take for me to develop and get result or fruits is very different from the amount the next person is going to take. So we should be very conscious when it comes to time and age. Do not go around comparing people. This person started YouTube after me, or I started YouTube before this person, and this person is already on 1,000 subs. This person is already monetized, I'm not monetized. In as much as that can get to you, do not let the emotions come to you, because at the end of the day, your life and that person, they are very different. Your timeline is very different, and you will be surprised. One reason why I love Burna Boy as an artist so much is because he is someone that is the definition of resilience. In 2013, when I was in the dorm, I used to stay in the dorm then, I had a friend who would always listen to Burna Boy. She was such a huge fan of Burna Boy. But then I wasn't a fan of Burna Boy. She would always talk about him. So I knew about Burna Boy as of 2013. But this was someone that people knew about him, but people weren't really paying attention to him. Only those who, of course, he will have his own fans, like my friends. They will listen to him, they will vibe with him. But as a community as a whole, like a place like Nigeria, people were not listening to him. People didn't even know him as much. People didn't recognize him as, one of the big artists. He was just there. And eventually with time, sometimes I try to imagine putting myself in his shoes, that what would he be thinking the days of where all these artists, many artists that have come and gone, they are balling, they are in their peak, they are the in thing right now, they are the people everyone is listening to. Their music is around the country, sometimes even beyond just the country, going international. And that is someone with so much talent that regardless of what you want to say about Burna Boy, you can't take away his talents and his achievements, So imagine what you would think in that aspect or in that time, knowing that he is able to do what they can do, and maybe to an extent even more than what they can do. He knows what he carries, because we getting to see Burna Boy years later, it's not the same for Burna Boy. Burna Boy saw this Burna Boy years before he even became that. So we just happen to see that Burna Boy right now. Imagine what life would have been for him then, when everyone is coming out, today this person is the in thing, tomorrow is that one that is raining, and he's just there, just having a minimal community that listens to him. Right now in 2025, you cannot mention top 2 musicians in Nigeria without mentioning Burna Boy. So that is an example of how time works. In that aspect, he can be there killing himself, that time has gone so far, he's so age old, he has a talent, he knows what he can offer and all of that, but life is not working. Imagine he stays there comparing that, I cannot do this, I need to give up and focus on the next thing because time has gone far and the rest. And imagine after coming to the scene, the amount of achievement Burna Boy has broken, the records he has broken as the first African artist to do this, the first Nigerian artist to do, it's just so mind-blowing how in such a short period of time, I think from the period he became very viral to this moment, I think probably 6 years, if I'm not mistaken, but the amount of achievements, the work he has done in just that short period of time is just so crazy and so mind-blowing. And that is why I respect him as an artist. It's not easy to remain resilient in life, regardless of your financial capacity, because people tend to think money solves everything or money is the solution to everything. But regardless of your financial status, guys, it is not easy to wait. Having the staying power is not easy. If it was easy, there are so many people that wouldn't have pivots in their career, their jobs, marriages and all of that. So it just leaves me thinking that I just wonder how many things have failed because people weren't able to wait out for the time. So this result story just got me thinking, because that particular result, just give the video a watch. It's titled My 1 Week Birthday Vlog Venture. Give the video a watch. It is called Noah's Ark, if I'm not mistaken, because there are I visited a lot of places in that vlog, but what I'm talking about particularly is Noah's Ark. When you see places like this, it's just like the thinking, the planning, the strategizing, the waiting period. Imagine after getting a land, even before laying foundation or doing anything, you just leave it, plant the trees and just wait, fertilize the trees, water it, take care of it, make sure it's growing with respect to its time and the life cycle, making sure. And then when it reaches a certain point, before you even start building, not to talk of calling it a result. So imagine how much time is being invested in all these things. And the most beautiful thing about time is, now when you go to this resort, you're mind blown, you're captivated, the aesthetics, the landscape, it's just so beautiful. You can't help but admire it. And that is also a place that, honestly, if I have the opportunity, I don't mind visiting again. I've been there twice, but just because of how beautiful it is, it's like you're lost in nature. is really, really beautiful. And just like this Burna Boy story, the future right now is so beautiful. You can't help but be proud of him as an artist, be proud of his achievements, just proud of the achievements only because of that time, that waiting. I'll also use Ashake as an example. Ashake is someone that has been in the music industry for a long time now. He's someone actually that I've also been following way before he even became Ashake. Initially, I knew him with Mr. Money with the Vibe before he became so viral. And then when I knew him as Ashake, I couldn't even place the two of them, that this person is Ashake, is still the same person as Mr. Money, So when you calculate the amount of time that has gone in all these years, they, planting, watering, serving, doing everything they can, and then reaching the point where they are, it just gives you that encouragement that time really plays a factor. It is one thing, no matter how you think your pain, no matter how you think time has gone, you've been cheated out of life, your peers are 10 years, decades ahead of you. If you decide not to do anything, if you decide to do something, I can assure you that 10 years that you are scared of it reaching, and you being maybe a failure, you've not been able to marry, you've not been able to give birth, you've not been able to achieve your career, you've not been able to get the particular money you're looking for, guys, that time is going to come eventually. So I just want to encourage you, listening to me today, if you're thinking of starting anything, if you're thinking of doing anything, time should never be an excuse for you to not do it. Let me use myself as an example as well. By next month, I'll be 2 years on YouTube, and it just feels like I said YouTube yesterday. There are so many things I can't even remember about the journey when it comes to my journey on YouTube, because it's like I blinked, I closed my eyes, I opened my eyes, and it's almost 2 years, So it is really crazy how time works. It is one thing for you to start, it's another thing for you to not start, to dwell in your pity, dwell in your pain. But one thing that is constant is the time will continuously keep moving forward, regardless of if you decide to start, you decide to quit, you decide to not quit, you decide to do whatever it is you want to do or not do, that time is still going to get where it needs to get to. So yeah, I just want to encourage anyone listening to me that time factor, no matter what you do, if you're even thinking of time, instead you should be thinking of how to make time work for you, not the other way around. Time is supposed to work for you, because unfortunately, time is something that we can never ever get back, regardless of who you are on planet Earth. Once it's gone, it's gone. So please, in as much as time plays a huge factor, it is also important that in as much as you set your goals with timelines, deadlines, do not make it a do or die affair. Do not make it box you. Do not make it restrict you, that you go ahead and make wrong decisions, wrong choices, and 5 years down the line, you're back to square one. All the things you were scared of happening ended up happening. I need to do it right now, because in 10 years, people will laugh at me. In 10 years, I won't be able to show my face. In 10 years, this and this and this. And before you know it, 10 years has come. You've not been able to make anything, you've not been able to make any difference, because you're scared of time. Another thing that holds us back again is also the past, in the sense of time. Just as I use this YouTube as example, whereas you're like, what, this time around it's just so difficult, I can't take it any longer, I wish I started 5 years ago, I wish. Regret is also something in regards to time that draws human being back a lot. It majorly affects our psychology, our mind, our mindset. This is where a lot of people tend to be stuck. They can't go forward, because I wish I started 5 years. If I started in 5 years, I wouldn't be here today. If I started in 5 years, I would have gone through all these things. I'll be, all of that. We should be able to come to a place where we understand life, and be able to know how to work with time, to be able to make time work for us, to make time serve us. And now, how can we make time work for us? How can we make time serve us? The first thing would be for you to be intentional. Being intentional, being present, it is very, that is even one of the key points I would say I can share with you guys. Very present, very intentional. If you're eating, make sure you're eating. If you're chatting with your friend, make sure you're chatting with your friend. If you're having a call, make sure you're calling. If you're working, make sure you're working. Don't be at home thinking about work, and then be at work thinking about home, or doing one thing thinking about the other thing, most times you'll find out that you listening to me right now depends on however it is you go about your life. It's possible that you're not even able to give a full account of how your day went. It's just like, just like a force push you woke up, you went to school, did this, came back, you're not being mindful. You're not being mindful that right now I'm in a classroom, I'm attending lecture, I'm receiving lecture. Right now I'm in my place of work, I'm working, I'm meeting deadlines, I'm talking to clients. We just do, keep it moving, do, keep it moving. We repeat the same circle every day in, day out, without fully being present. When you're doing something, make sure that you're gisting with your friend, gist with your friend. Don't be gisting with your friend and your mind is how you need to build a house. In as much as you don't really have control of your mind, that you're always thinking about one thing or the other. That is understandable, but in as much as you can, it is very important to be present, whatever it is you're doing. And one thing I would advise you to do that can help you in being present is mindfulness, journaling, taking walks, exercises, meditating, being to your mind, just not pressing your phone, not looking at anything, closing your eyes, for example, being on bed and just being with your thoughts. Just be present. If you can also use these tactics of, for example, I'm sitting here making a video. Okay, today I'm about to make a video, so everything I'm doing right now, my mind frame, my mindset, what I'm thinking is based on me recording a video, not recording a video and I'm thinking of maybe the work I need to do the moment I finish this video. So yeah, one of the most important ways to make time work for you is by being present and being intentional. The next way you can make time work for you is to prioritize what really matters. If you're able to prioritize what really matters to you, what really serves you, what propels you to where you need to be, it is so easy for you to be able to recognize distractions and to be able to say no to distractions, because you're able to tell, okay, let's say for example, this finger is serving me, this finger is not serving me. I'm able to see it and recognize that, okay, this one is serving me, this one is not serving me. It's very easy for me to do away with it because I know for a fact that this is productive, this is not productive. So whatever it is you're doing, it is very important for you to prioritize what truly matters, what gives you joy, what brings you peace of mind, what makes you happy. Is it spending time with your loved ones, working on projects, being by yourself? What is serving you, what gives you joy as a human being, as a person, as an individual, what serves you. Prioritize what matters, and it makes it easy for you to be able to recognize distractions and say no to distractions. The next would be for you to plan but stay flexible. It is very important to plan, and I hate to be one of those guys, but the same book I was reading, Seeds of Greatness, it says the most important plan is for you to plan on your plan, not going according to plan. So plan but be flexible. Do not be too restrictive, do not constrain yourself in one idea, one situation, whatever it is. Just make sure that you're flexible, you're spontaneous, to be able to create that balance. Because one thing about life is you can plan. I can tell you my plan from now till 2028, but then again, life also has its own path from now to 2028. So I can plan to a T from now to 2028, but it's not going to go exactly as planned, So yeah, one of the most important thing is planning, that your plan doesn't go according to plan. So yeah, plan but remain flexible. And then the next thing would be for you to invest in yourself. That is another way to make time work for you. How do you invest in yourself? Investing in yourself is an investment that you will never ever regret. If you don't even know how to invest your time, you don't know how to do anything, guys, just invest it all in yourself. You will never regret it, and that is something that will make you grow as a human being, make you grow as an individual, develop your mind, give you new ways of thinking, new ways of seeing life, different perspective. Just invest in yourself. Is it reading? Is it journaling? Is it research? Is it studying? Whatever it is, and learn not to limit yourself in, just because I'm a YouTuber, everything I do is just in the YouTube sense. No, I'm allowed to see touch on business. I'm allowed to see touch on things like leadership and the rest. Life is just so open. Knowledge is very free, available everywhere. It's just up to you to seek or go for it, and yeah, you tend to benefit from it. So yeah, it is very important to invest in yourself. So yeah, I just wanted to touch on the principle of time, how to make time work for us, and for us to be time conscious in the way that we're able to be mindful, being conscious, being present of how we live our lives, being intentional, prioritizing what really matters to us, and being able to face life boldly, knowing that if you're very confident in yourself that I just need to give myself 3 years, I'll excel in YouTube, guys, regardless of what it is people are saying, regardless of the constant criticism you're getting, if you're sure, for a fact that 3 years you'll be able to see the light, I can assure you that that alone will give you the confidence you need to be able to stay until that 3 years, So yeah, it is really important to be mindful of how we use our time, because time, like I said, is finite, it is constant, and it is continuously moving. And for humans, time is our greatest asset. You cannot get back yesterday. So if you're not able to do that thing you were supposed to do 10 years ago, today is a good day to start. Right now is where life happens, not in the past, not even in the future. The future is yet to come. Nobody knows what tomorrow holds. None of us even know what the next hour holds. We don't even know what is going to happen in the next 5 minutes. Don't talk of the next 1 hour, not talk of the next decade or the next year. So life is in the right now, not the past, not the future. So yeah, just be time conscious and make sure that you make time work for you. But there's something I want to share with you guys. I hate to be that person, guys, but there's this book I'm reading. It's titled Deliberate Success. Let me share with you guys what it says about time. It says time is as much about our mindset as it is about the clock on the wall. By being aware of time and by recognizing its flow, we can learn to live more fully in the moment and make choices that align with our true priorities. So yeah, guys, let's move into what I've been watching this week. So actually, I didn't watch this week, but I just realized that I never recommended this to you guys, and it is a really interesting TV series. You can find it on Netflix and other streaming platforms. It is titled The Diplomat. It is a political series. It revolves around politics. Really, really interesting, and it also highlights women empowerment, because we had a lady, I've forgotten her name. Guys, permit me, I don't do well with names, but yeah, I've forgotten her name, and she was one of the major key roles or key characters in the series, and she was a woman in politics, and yeah, it just revolves around politics. Give it a watch. Don't mind the way I explain it to you guys. Oh, is that I'm not really good at explaining or recommending movies, but I want to assure you that without a doubt it's very interesting. Not just this one, every recommendation is really interesting. And if you've given it a watch, please let me know what you think, because season 2 came out this year. I started watching it probably 2 years ago, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not sure, but yeah, season 2 came out, and it's like I forgot the story. I had to start all over, but really, really, really interesting. I'm not sure if there's going to be season 3. I'm not sure, but yeah, give it a watch. You can find it on Netflix or any other streaming platforms. The next I watched this week would be Cassandra. Cassandra, you can find this on Netflix. I've been seeing this series. I've been hearing some things about it on X, and people are saying, it's creepy, is this, is that. I was like, you know what? Let me give Cassandra a watch. And I started watching Cassandra, I was thinking it's going to be all this, sci-fi and the rest, but when the story started developing, I don't even know it. I don't know if I'm supposed to recommend this series to you guys or not. It's a limited series. I want to say it's scary, but it is such a dark storyline. It is really, really dark. Honestly, I remember watching it. I told myself I wasn't going to recommend it to you guys. Unfortunately, I'm talking about it now, but I don't know. I don't know, honestly, guys. It's interesting. It is really, really very different from the normal, or I would say for myself, the KGB, FBI, CIA, all of that. It is just very, very different when it comes to the storyline. And yeah, it's still under sci-fi, but it's really interesting. But at the same time, the story is just so dark. But yeah, if you have the mind, give Cassandra a watch. And if you have, Please let me know in the comment section, what do you think about Cassandra? Is it scary? Is it such a dark story? Is it something you recommend? Is it something you wouldn't recommend? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. But yeah, that's it for TVs and movie shows. I haven't really been watching so much this week, just catching up on my YouTubers, George and the remaining of my YouTubers. And then what I've been listening to this week, I've really been spending time listening to Jenny Aiko and Rihanna. I don't need to give you guys the songs anymore because I have a playlist for you guys. And guys, I just realized that I am my biggest ops. You know, I told you guys that the second playlist is titled Victoria's Playlist. Come to find out that is not the name. And I was asking myself, you know, am I not my biggest ops? Because when people don't see it, I'll be like, oh, they didn't see it, whereas I'm the one giving the wrong information. But anyways, guys, if you're new to this channel, I have 2 playlists that I get to share with you guys, curated specially by me to you guys and for myself as well. You get to enjoy my playlist. Perhaps we have the same taste in music, or you get to like my taste in music, or perhaps you're trying to get into African songs or trying to know new African artists. Whatever the case may be, the playlist is there for you. The first playlist is titled Victoria's Playlist, and that involves just African songs that I enjoy and I listen to. Like I said, this is a playlist I use as well. And then for the other one that is like blues, jazz, you know, just international music, it's titled V's Blues, not Victoria's Playlist 2. I'm still... Anyways, guys, if I ask you guys questions, you guys will still not reply. So I was going to ask you guys, do you think I should rename it to Victoria Playlist 2 or leave it as V Blues? If any one of you is willing to reply, let me know in the comment section. But if you guys will not reply, then I guess it remains as, or it stays at V Blues. So yeah, the African songs are in Victoria's Playlist, and then the international songs are in V Blues or V's Blues. Just give it a listen. And the key thing in YouTube music, I'm sure a number of you do not like using YouTube because of the ads. So if you're like me who is not paying for YouTube, one thing I noticed with YouTube is if you start playing the playlist, of course ads will keep popping, but after a while, when you get to listen to the playlist for a while, eventually the ads drastically reduces. There's even a point where you can be able to listen to 10 songs and not a single ad will pop up. So yeah, just give it a listen. And if you have YouTube Premium, then even better, you know. So yeah, just give it a listen. But yeah, this week I've been listening to Jenny Aiko and Rihanna. It's just been a very chilled week for me. I love to listen to Jenny Aiko to give me, you know, that peace, that calming, quiet. That is what I've been watching and listening to this week. But yeah, guys, let's move into our quote for this week. What's our quote for this? So our quote for this week would be, people become really quite remarkable when they start thinking they can do things. When they believe in themselves, they have the first secret of success. And this is by Norman Vincent Peale. And yeah, guys, I just want to leave you guys with these encouraging words that people become really quite remarkable once they start thinking they can do things. And once you're able to believe in yourself, you already have the first secret to success. So I just want to encourage you to believe in yourself, even if no one around you believes you, even if your mom, your parents, your siblings, your friends, your partner do not believe in you. I believe in you. Believe in yourself, because you believing in yourself is your power, your greatest asset that you can use to conquer this world. So yeah, do not stop believing in yourself. But yeah, guys, in all, I would say time matters. You know, use time to work for you. Let time work for you. Invest in yourself, be present, plan, but be flexible, you know. All of that, it is very important to know that you're not just rushing through life. You're not just wake up, repeat, wake up, do the same thing, repeat, wake up. No, we're not rushing through life, and we're not just going by the winds, you know, or the flow of life, but instead living more intentionally, doing things that serve us, things that give us joy, things that shape us to who we want to be, things that helps us push us or propel us to the places we want to be, the people we want to become, and the things we want to achieve. So guys, in as much as you feel like you regretted, you wasted time, you misused your time and the rest, today is such a beautiful day to start once more. And if you decide to start today or not, 4 years time is still eventually going to come. So yeah guys, I just thought to touch on time, because like I said, that story of results was something that kept playing in my mind. I needed answers, because it's just not making sense knowing that you cannot artificially grow a tree. And guys, one fact that palm trees, regardless of how you fertilize it, regardless of how good the soil is, it takes 4 to 5 years for it to reach like 6 centimeters or so. I'm not so sure, but to be able to get a mature palm tree, it takes 10 to 20 years. So imagine how long it will actually take a result to start building. First planting the seed, watering it for it to grow, starting the results, and for everything to come together. So yeah, I just thought to touch on time, the perspective of time, and how to use time or make time will work for us. Well, yeah guys, that will be it for this week. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to like this video if you haven't, share, subscribe, and if you have any suggestions of any topic you would love for me to touch on, to talk about, please feel free to let me know in the comment section, and perhaps I might take up your offer, but feel free to let me know in the comment section and I will do justice in replying and getting to your topic. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe again. And if you're feeling generous, please feel free to share on your social media platforms, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye.